John Hale.
Carrington, you're a guy that came on really strong down the stretch. How big was that finish to the season to kind of just send you into the offseason and now competing for that starting job?
It was really big. It kind of boosted my confidence a little bit. So like basically, starting that last game as a freshman was really big for me, and now going into the off season, trying to perfect my craft and bring my teammates along. Now like being used to the defense and all, so that was really big for me.
Josh Moore.
Hey Carrington, I'm curious for when you were being recruited, you're seeing guys. Kentucky's kind of making this name for itself as a defensive back university. Just is that kind of playing out for you? Is it kind of I guess coming to fruition what you kind of thought you were getting into when you got here?
Yeah, definitely. Coach Klink recruited me, Coach Murrow, and I knew what I was. I knew when I heard him talk that, to be honest, UK is DBU. So I've never like learning some things that I've never learned before. I'm seeing the game from a different angle. Um, it's just the way he teaches DBs is nothing like I've seen before.
It's what?
It's amazing. It's excellent.
What's the toughest thing about making that transition from high school to college in terms of playing the position?
The toughest thing is high school is kind of more. I say it's more simple. Like it's like when most people like when you go to like when you're in high school, like you're the best player. But like when you come to Kentucky, and you go to these like other schools, like everybody's good. So you got to prove, you got to like separate yourself from everyone else and prove that you are the best player and like on the field and off the field.
Nick Roush.
You mentioned the confidence you got about getting some PT there late in the stretch, and the coaches have talked about having a mindset where you've got a pretty quick short term memory and are able to move on to the next play. Is there a trick to that to not letting one big play turn into another?
Not really. For me, I just like when something happens, I breathe. I think about it for a split second to see what I did wrong, but then after that, I just let it go and I just play the next play. Because when you play DB, like you can't dwindle on a play for like 3 or 4 plays, and that's taken away from your teammates. So
Adam Luckett.
Hey, Carrington, we talked to Brad earlier this spring. He talked about how corners need to have an alpha mentality to play out there on the edge. What does that mean to you, and maybe what's a thing or two you're really trying to hone in and focus on to help your development this spring?
basically being more vocal, being aggressive when the run comes. Tearing off blocks, basically getting our hands dirty. So most people, the stereotype for corners, the corners don't like to hit, but for our DB group, that's what like we trying to hone in on being aggressive and hitting. So
Jeff Drummond.
Yes, Carrington, I was wondering, as a guy that lines up across the way from him every day in practice, what have you seen from Wandale, and what has he brought to that wide receiver group that maybe you guys didn't have last season?
Wandale Robinson has NFL talent, and he's elusive, he's quick, his routes are good, and me going against him in practice every day, like it's like iron sharpens iron, and I love it. So it's like it's different because it's also coming from a different type of offense. So it's like it's stuff I've never seen before too. So like seeing that out of him and he's helping me, I'm helping him is great.
John Hale.
Building on that a little bit, Carrington, as you're matching up against this new offense, are there any receivers out there, maybe other than Wandale, that have caught your eye this spring that we should really be paying attention to?
Yeah, Josh Ali, Isaiah Epps, Cleveland Thomas, Tay Tay, like they like seeing them like in this new offense, like it's like different. Like it's like it's getting all of us better, and I really like it's really good.
Nick Roush.
I know you used to work out at Aspirations back in the day. Did you know Wandale then previously, or you stay pretty well connected to a lot of those guys?
Yeah, me and I knew Wandale before came here. I knew him when he was at Nebraska. We've worked out together before, so like basically like I've done like one-on-one reps with him before, and it's like even like then like he was the man, and I just like he got me. I would say he got me to, I guess, where I am now, basically, because I've only been playing corner for like 2 years, 3 years. So basically, going against him as like when I was younger, really like helped me develop and learn new things.
Josh Moore.
Carrington, Nick asked about Wandale there, and we get really excited about the Kentucky guys, the guys from Kentucky here, but Cincinnati's not, it's pretty close to Kentucky. What do you think of just that area? I know it's a football hotbed, but just how close it is to here. Like, you kind of consider yourself sort of an honorary Kentuckian, or how do you look at that?
I consider myself still from Cincinnati. I wouldn't say that I'm not a Kentucky boy. So I'm far from that. So I'm still from Cincinnati.
Here we go. John Long.
Hey, Carrington, how much did you enjoy the actual recruiting process, and how much do you think a campus visit actually contributes to that?
I enjoyed the recruiting process a lot. It was tough like at times, like with different coaches talking to you. But like that moment, like I believe like going to different schools and like that really helps you as a recruit. And like with this whole COVID thing and like how like recruits can't come, like I say like that's really tough. And like I don't understand how like people could make their decisions off of like a Zoom meeting and not actually being there in person and seeing like the coaches, the facilities, and like the area that you're going to be in. Like you're basically seeing it from a virtual aspect, and that's a really tough decision to make virtually.
Jeff Drummond.
Yeah, Carrington, apologies if you touched on this already. My internet had a little hiccup there. But what did you take from guys like Brandon and Kelvin last season, just kind of being around them and watching and learning with them playing in the starting roles?
Basically, like Brandon and Kelvin are basically they're two different type of corners. So I basically got the best of both worlds. Brandon and Kelvin are both aggressive, but I would say Kelvin's more aggressive than Brandon. So basically, like I got basically the boundary corner perspective from Kelvin, and then the field perspective from Brandon. So I feel like having that and then them being more experienced at the position really helped me, I guess, transition to high school to college as well.
Adam.
Are you working at field or boundary, Carrington?
I'm working at boundary corner.
All right. Anything else for Carrington? Okay. Appreciate you guys.